first up on the agenda is Wayne's RTPs.
Got it. Yes, I have RTP 1088. It's for new remote door openers for this Beagle Station 1. Because the ones that they have are pretty much falling apart or not working. And that was for $210. RTP 1526 is a new door and frame for the laundry room at Beagle Station 2. It's for $1,800. Basically, the door currently swings inward and it swings into where the sink and the washer is, and basically we want to reverse it so that it swings out into the truck bay so that it's not hitting anything going into the window.
It's not reversible?
No. No. Besides that, it's all backfilled with more concrete, so we'd have to basically rework the entire frame, so it's going to be easier just to cut it out and put a new one in.
This is more to do with the washer and dryer again then?
Kind of an afterthought thing after we looked at the real something we thought about.
And then the last one is, and you get reapproval on RTP 1570 for the gas meter. When they repaired it, they found some other repairs that need to be done. There was a cracked housing and a few other things. So it's an additional $85.49 above the $150 I already requested. So that would bring it up to $235.49.
Is this a 4-gas meter, Wayne?
Yes.
Got it. I will make a motion to revise the approval of RTP 1570 with a new total of $235.49. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Tom, your request?
Yep, connector for the inflatable boat, so that you can inflate the boat off of a SCBA bottle. $12.65 to Napa. Repaired the WR3. Well, the training the other night, they sucked in some seaweed. They had to take it to High Ingles to have it repaired. Hydro test for the air compressor bottles. That's the Cascade system out in the back room. Those bottles are going to be, they're out of hydro, $606 to hire those, a valve for that compressor. They think some of the problems we've had with pulling seals is there's a inline valve that needs to throttle down the pressure when we're filling large tanks like the one on the aerial truck. So it's $311. 2-section 35-foot ladder to Jerome's. Ground ladder testing the other day. We had a 35-foot ladder fail. So that's a replacement for that. Then 3 impact wrenches for SCBA bottle remover, $837. In addition, I have 2 blank request forms, one for annual ground ladder testing and annual test of the ladders. Those bills will be forthcoming. One thing I discovered this afternoon when I was putting the account numbers on there, we don't have a line item for ground ladder maintenance. And I don't know if it's just something we missed this year. I always thought there was a line item for ground electricity.
Not for repairs or
This was
whatever?
just for the annual testing.
Just for the, there should be a ladder test,
Yeah,
right?
I'm wondering if maybe when we took off the 5-year, we may might have taken that off along with it. But it's okay, there's enough money in the repair account to charge it up to that. And I guess to give you a report, I know we talked about it, that we had McNeil come in and do a preliminary, what we would call an OSHA inspection. I just got a copy of the recommendations from them. And for Joanne,
Money?
money.
Ooh.
Check for Duracell for the batteries, and I can't take credit for that. I
I
gotta
know.
give the credit to Bill Hopper,
I
he's been
know.
hounding them. He heard a rumor that they would reimburse, they had reimbursed some departments for the battery problem, so he went after them and did a great job. He was able to get $4,000 for it,
Yeah,
back for us. So,
$4,437.75.
Any questions for Tom?
We need to move on the hydrobottle test. Do
Pardon?
we need to move on the hydrobottle test, or do we wait until?
It could probably wait, I mean,
Okay.
it'll take them a while to get the bottles over there and get them out, get them back.
Okay.
So,
So you got your quotes that you needed for the wrenches, Tom?
yes. They're in the packet.
They're in the, can we see that packet?
There's a big discrepancy. We got one online, but Hopper wasn't familiar with it. And with, so. I think we recommended Snap-on, only they're more expensive, but we're familiar with them, so.
Testing the cylinder. I don't see it in here. Yes, it's an estimate. Unless I missed it. I mean, it's on the front, the list of,
I got a copy here. One was through online. They say there's a big difference in prices.
in the wall was right, the other one?
Yeah, well, that hasn't come through yet.
Okay. I'm good, I just wanted to make sure you got what you needed. That's
Yeah.
all.
Well, you might need that, that should have been attached to there, but it wasn't used.
Any questions? Moving on to financial updates. So there's two parts to the financial update. Jack and I met with Jeff Smith from Municipal Solutions and went through a couple of different scenarios of what could we afford, where could we get the money from. And we ended up coming up with about $150,000 that we could use to replace the two engines. So that's kind of where we're at financially with that money, and that's what we have to spend. And the second half of that is the contract for the Cody truck was signed for 30 days. It was signed May 31st, so 30 days is June 30th. And we need to get them an answer as to whether or not we would be interested in purchasing the vehicle.
That's 112.5, right? That's the question.
Not that I know of, but before we move on that, I'd like to take it up to Fulton and have him look underneath it, see what he thinks. It's the only thing that I don't think has been done.
It hasn't been inspected yet.
It hasn't been inspected, so, you know, I would think we want to get those two things done before we move on it.
Will they let us extend that another 30 days? That we haven't had time to appropriately evaluate it and make a solid decision?
What have the guys stopped running?
Hmm?
What have the guys stopped running?
It's been run.
I mean,
Yeah.
any,
I mean,
Well, they don't like
last night, I don't think they're,
Oh, shit.
I don't think they're gonna be like, no, you can't have an extra week or something, but
Right.
I think part of it is they wanna get it sold, so
Oh,
people
sure.
are not gonna buy it, they wanna get it up and get it.
Yep.
But we can certainly reach out to them, ask them if we have.
I mean, I can make the arrangements to have it looked at. I know where Tony, I thought Tony probably would have done that, but if he hasn't, I can make the arrangement.
I'm fine with that if you wanna make arrangements to get up there.
Okay.
I guess my thought is barring any issues with it, what are your thoughts? I mean, is it something that would make do for a couple of years, that would get us through? Is it,
I personally think it would. You know, we got the other truck to think about too. And actually tomorrow, I'm going to go look at a third truck, which is about the same vintage as the Moyer's Corners truck, but that's supposed to be in good shape too, and price is reasonable. But a whole lot of other things fit into that. And just so happens that tomorrow night, at the county chiefs meeting, ISO's coming in. And I had a chance to ask them questions, so I want to do some comparisons with what we have and try to get some better answers before I act on the truck I'm looking at tomorrow. The truck I look at tomorrow is from DeWitt, and it's been retired because they got a new truck to replace it. So, and I ran into that by accident. I ran into the fire chief at the chief shop. He said, you're not going to be able to run it forever, but he says, the only reason we took it out is because we have a 20-year replacement program, or 25-year replacement program. It's just at the end of its 25 years. It's about, I think it's the same year as or both of those trucks are, I mean, this truck is in good shape, and the Moyer's Corners truck is in excellent shape. But there again, that truck also, I would also, because of the problems we've had in the area, I'd like to have that looked at also at Fulton to see what his opinion is. And I can, take care of running both of those up there if you so wish.
if that will help us make a more informed decision, we can
Okay.
do that. I mean, we kind of are in the same time frame for both trucks. Moyer's Corners, I think they give us 60 days, so we have a little bit more time with that one, but,
I believe
I wouldn't-
mine said 70,
okay.
and on day 71, they'll start charging us $200.
Yeah, they do start charging us money,
Yeah.
so rather than wait, let's do it sooner rather than
Okay.
wait. Anybody else have any questions? District Deputy Chief / Assistant Chief Policy.
Yeah. What I did is, I took it upon myself to try and build a policy. As everybody knows, it's been a trying year for the whole Chief's car situation. One of the conversations we had with Bill Young was about developing our own policy and merging, instead of two separate parallel elections, to merge it under one district policy and have one election. What I did is took a stab at putting together a policy. I talked to Tom first to ask Tom what his needs were, what he felt he needed for chief officers to run the district. He said 5, including him. Obviously, his election is governed by a whole separate set of rules. So I just worked backwards from 4 chiefs, a deputy, asked for his feedback on how we wanted to see it laid out. He had a deputy and 3 assistants. We tried to create zones in order to make sure there was coverage and representation from each area. And quite honestly, to try and be fair to Lysander, more so. And if we go through the policy, it says the district assistant chief's position will cover 3 specific geographic areas of the fire district known as zones. Zone 1 will be from the district line to the northernmost point continuing south to Hinkle Boulevard. Zone 2 would be from the Seneca River at Marble Street to the southernmost district boundary at O'Brien Road. And Zone 3 would be from Hinkle Boulevard to Seneca River at Marble Street. It would divide it up into 3 sections. I'm just gonna, at this point, I'm just gonna kind of paraphrase how it would work. Basically, you would have a district chief, you would have a deputy chief. The deputy chief, anybody that meets the qualifications could run. The 3 assistant chiefs, how it would work is, in order to run for Zone 1, which would be the area from the north down to Hinkle Boulevard, you have to reside in that zone to run for that assistant chief's position. Zone 2, same situation. Zone 3, same situation. When the resumes were submitted, if we had no one that met the qualification or the requirements as laid out in our own policy, number 4, at that point, we would notify the membership, and then anybody that met the qualification could run regardless of where the residency is. So it gives us an opportunity to pull people from their specific area, but if there's no one that meets the qualification in the area, we can pull from a larger group of members to make sure that we're covered according to our own policy. If we walk through each one here, number 1, any Northwest District member meeting the qualifications for deputy chief and or assistant chief as defined in Northwest District Policy 4 may submit a letter of intent for the upcoming year. District members submit for an assistant chief position must live in the specific zone which they are running for. Should there be no qualified candidates running in an assistant chief zone, the Board of Fire Commissioners will notify the district membership. Then any qualified candidate may run for the position in that open zone regardless of where they live. Qualified interested candidates would need to submit their intent to run in that open zone to the district administrative assistant via either letter or email by December 1st. All letters of intent initially submitted for the deputy chief or assistant chief position would go to the district administrative assistant by November 1st. The validation of the qualifications for each applicant for the positions would be done by the Board of Fire Commissioners as we did last year. The list of all positions with all qualified candidates for each position would be posted in each station at least 2 weeks prior to the election. The election for the deputy chief and 3 assistant chief positions would occur on the 3rd Tuesday in December from 6 to 9. Eligible voters for the election would be active levels 1, 2, and 3 of each district department. A list of eligible voters would be provided to the Board of Fire Commissioners no later than 7 days prior to the election by each department secretary. In the event of any ties on election night, the final decision would be made by the district chief-elect. Obviously, that's just my thoughts on paper. Certainly the timeline was just pieced together on what seemed to work, allowing us enough time to review things, allowing them enough time to submit, not encroaching on the district chief's election, which I think is the 2nd Tuesday in December. So, as I say, we've talked before about running parallel with things and combining into one. I just decided this was a good spot to start, and I took a stab at it. So I wanted to bring it forward to get questions, comments, thoughts.
Hey, the only question I have is the number 9, the legality of that. I don't think the district chief can decide that.
Well,
That was my only question.
Yeah,
You know.
obviously, this would have to go to Bill. He told us when we talked to him that he'd certainly, if we put something together, he would review it. And I would take it a step further and ask Bill for his feedback on if there's anything he thinks we missed. That would be a good idea to put in there.
And the only other thing that pops out again, I know, because the way I see myself, is either the two departments or the district or somebody has got to get these levels straightened out. Because by the Lysander bylaws and the way they vote out there, I'm a level 4 with restrictions. The way Jan does the physicals, she just puts me as other, she don't even put me as a level 3 anymore. And I know you have level 4s that aren't allowed to do nothing. So I think that should be rectified too before this.
I submitted over a year ago to the board a more defined level. I can resurrect that again. And complaints I was hearing is what's a level 1, what's a level 2, et cetera, et cetera. So I did some research on the various levels, and it gives you explanations. Obviously level 1 is interior totally. A level 2 or B or whatever we had it as. Some restrictions, either medically or on their own, where they felt they needed to drop into that level. And then I think level 3 would be your, again, there could be a medical reason or for whatever reason, either EMT or just driver operator or that type of thing. And I believe I even included level 4s in that, but I would be glad to submit that to you again, because the problem I always run into with a lot of officers, well, what's a level 2? How do you get to be this? How do you, and you can't just drop by yourself. I mean, Jan can put you in those other levels, but you just can't decide, oh, wake up tomorrow morning and decide I want to be a level 4. You got to go through the process of going to your officer and ultimately with the chief to grant you dropping down to another level. So if you would like, I can resubmit that. Actually, I saw it the other day when I was
We
sorting
have the
through
big
my
one
stuff.
that the district has.
Pardon?
We have the big one that the district has.
I know what the one the district has, but I submitted another one over a year ago for you to consider.
Well, all I'm saying is the one that's in that is not the one that was the original one. The original one described everything like you said.
Okay.
How much they could
Over
do,
the
what they
years,
couldn't do.
over the years, that has eroded away, so it was just 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Well, I will say thank you. I appreciate that, what you put into this, and you took that on. I think there's a couple of, as we move forward in these steps, there's a couple of policies I think that will have to simultaneously be looked at, levels being one, and I think the assignments will probably have to be re-looked at as well. We'll have to kind of redo that at the same, kind of all at the same time. But we can certainly send this off to Bill Young and have him give us some thoughts if everyone's in agreement that this is the way we want to move, or at least the majority of us are in agreement, so that we want to move.
I guess I would get that first, obviously.
Yeah, I would like to see it. We send it to him.
Okay. I was gonna say, can you send it to me just now?
I think that's my English.
Thank you. Okay. So we will send it to Bill for his comments, suggestions. Computer replacement plan.
Does everybody have time to think about it? I don't know, it's $3,600 to do what we want to do.
I think we need to.
Oh, we got to start working on this computer system, there's no doubt about that, and getting it where it belongs. We've kind of let it go. We haven't put a lot of money into it since day one. We did some additions, we didn't do a lot of upgrading. I don't I'm not worried about the replacement computers because we haven't really put, me and Rick haven't really put that together. Rick's been getting numbers and seeing where they are and see which ones aren't gonna be needed. We found some places that have 3 computers, and I bet you if we went into them, they ain't used 3 hours a month or 4 hours a month. I did not write up an RTP or anything or a request because I didn't know how far we wanted to go with it. This is all part of the computer programming. I can write it up. You can call him up.
I think we definitely need to take the steps to protect ourselves with the firewalls and the, I don't think we have to worry about replacing computers at this moment. I think it's
No.
diligent, you know, getting where are the computers, how many do we have, what do we need? I think we need to get that balance before we wrap. I think we should do the rest of it.
Right, and then plugging the line item obviously for the budget, we start
Yeah.
working on that. But I agree, I think we need to move on to 3632, 36, I think was the total.
I'd like to make a motion, we move on the computer upgrades for $3,632.84.
I'll second it. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Junior RAM policy. So we had not talked about this at the last meeting because Tony had recently been to class and he had learned some additional information which he brought back. Unfortunately, he's not here tonight to kind of talk to what he wanted us to know. Everyone should have received a packet
Yeah, I
of
didn't bring
information
mine.
that really just talks about, from what I can see that I've gone through, is just different opinions from different lawyers as to what constitutes a youth, what constitutes whether or not they're covered for VFBL. But in everything that I read in here, it really kind of pointed back and said, well, this is an opinion, talk to your legal counsel about what is the best.
There was an article this month in the District News about that very topic, which I thought was kind of interesting. I don't know if anybody ever had a chance to read it yet. You know, the District newsletter that comes out statewide.
Yeah, I think I was reading
It
it.
was,
Can we
I
push it to
I know I
We
can't.
can, yeah, there's
It's
no,
not like there's
it
no
doesn't have
bylaws
to
to
be a
run by.
decision to be made tonight. It's just something that, you know, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Becky. I looked it over and you read it and right at the beginning, it says specific legal problems, issues, questions must be addressed by appropriate legal counsel retained for that purpose. That this information is not to tell you it is or it ain't. So it's right from the beginning, it tells you.
I would, you know, from my perspective, I would like to look into it a little bit more, but I'd like to have Tony here where we can talk to him and see what his thoughts were. I can see the pros, I can also see the cons. I mean, trying to get the trucks out the road, I can see the pros. But on the other side of the coin, I can also see the cons.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we don't have any bylaws to run by, so I mean,
Right.
I know they are probably anxious to get them merged together, but by the same token, we want to do it right. If there's an opportunity to make adjustments and make it better,
Yeah.
I don't think we should rush through it, so.
You don't want to rush into it and then find out down the road that and then have to take something away.
Right.
Or take something back.
And there's a lot of steps from what I could read in the opinions and things that would have to be done differently. We would have to put different policies in place, different coverages in place. We'd have to get Billy Young in there to write up a liability sheet that the parents have to sign and acknowledge and agree to. So there's a lot of it involved rather than just saying, yes, they can ride a truck or no, they can't. There's a lot more involved in it, so.
Yeah, I don't think it's the person's ability. I think it's the legal end of it, you know, or liability end of it, the liability the district's taking on. You want to get 10 people to take on a liability that could cost you $200 million, you know. I agree, I think we should, I think a lot of thought should go into it. I don't think it should be something that should be decided in a couple of meetings, even if it's a phone thing with the attorney, you know, not to bring him down here, but actually call Bill and we can all ask our questions, what happens if, then he can give us an answer. I would feel better with the attorney and then our insurance company. They're the ones that gotta pay the claims. And they can tell you when the claim is gonna get paid and when it ain't gonna get paid. I do know the law still isn't in effect that you cannot put a youth in harm's way. And anybody under 18 is considered a youth. Whether you make them a firefighter or you can, but whether you make them a firefighter or not, you still by law can't put them in harm's way. It's up to us to decide what's harm's way, I guess. That's gonna be the hard part.
Okay, so we'll, go ahead on then. The insurance.
I hadn't got with Tom, I did get with Wayne. I went over the list of stuff that comes with the DEC and I went up online and looked at it. We don't need any wildland stuff, rakes, shovels, 1-inch hose, I think he said he still got some.
Do you know how much you have? Wayne, 1-inch, stuff that goes on the reel?
I don't have any that goes on the reel.
Okay,
This
we
is flat
do a
stuff.
little hose on the brush truck, the length of it, so. I thought we bought some of that with a grant last time. That's a minor thing, I can just replace that through equipment replacement.
And it does, you can buy radios, but if you look at the price of a radio, you're only gonna be able to buy one for each grant. You get $3,000 and I think they're about $3,200, $3,400, something like that. So you get two. I did talk to Tom earlier about it and the possibility of getting wildland gear for level 3s and maybe possibly Rams that are doing more than everybody, level 3s. Wayne, we did find the site and we went up and we got it. It's like level coat, it tells what it is and it meets all the NFPA for a level 1, level 3s. A level 3 is, a level 1 is an upgrade, but you can outfit somebody for right around about $1,000, we figure. So you could get 6 sets of them. I don't know if that's the way you want to go. All I can tell you is you got until
Sunday.
no, the 28th, which is Thursday.
What about smaller ticket items that we go through that adds up, like gloves, like hoods, like?
Usually they don't want a grocery list. They don't want supply items, stuff that you normally should carry.
Right.
You know, they mentioned portable Indian tanks.
Well, but they mentioned
mentioned on the list.
PPE, I just don't know how, you don't think it's everyday use stuff they don't want you to get in the labs. Right, slide it in there and save yourself a couple $100 gloves and hoods.
That's what happens with a lot of the FEMA grants are the same thing. They look at it, if it looks like you just put a grocery list together to keep your budget down, it takes marks and looking.
The only possibility I see with that is if we bought some turnout gear, because that, even though it's labeled wildland gear, it's also suitable for what we would call exterior gear. Yeah, that might be a way to slide some exterior gear in under the guise of a wildland. That's the only.
It would be good for people that are just drivers and that's all they're doing.
Yeah.
It's $1,000, and I think me and Wayne had talked to, and I talked to Tom about it before, that it might be a good idea to get into, and instead of buying these $2,400 sets and you keep handing them down, and you know, when they get down to where they don't fit right, they're bulky, but you don't want to buy that person new, but for $1,000, it's a lot better. And just, again, my opinion. you gotta let me know, and
A, we don't have a lot of time.
you don't have a lot of time, so we gotta say, let's go for it, and go for, I don't know, 3 sets for each grant, and turn it in, and if they give it to us, they give it to us, and then we have time to really delve into pricing, because Tom wanted me to see fire deck out there, but I don't know, I walked around that place and finally I had to leave, and I missed them both times I went through there, so. But it would be something that we could investigate a little further, see if we get a little better price, whether it be fire deck or.
Pardon?
Did you get direct here?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Scott went to Wilkerson, yeah.
Yeah, we get
I
somebody
talked to
here.
him, but, yeah, briefly when I was at the show.
So that's where that stands, so is that the route we wanna go, chief, or commissioner?
Try it.
I
I
would
think
say
so.
yes.
All right, I'll get it made out tomorrow and get it sent in, so that we at least got our foot in the door. I will tell you, I'm gonna go online to get the population. I'll just do the village of Baldwinsville. That's gonna give me about 60% of the population, I would think. But your population is less than 1,000 is 10 points. 1,000 to 2,000 is 9 points. So every time you go up 1,000 on the new DEC grants, every time you go up 1,000 in population, you lose a point.
They don't let you break it down, huh?
I can break Lysander from the Lysander section from the Beeville section, but you can't break down each.
Okay.
Now, it's whatever 13003 is, 14, whatever the old number is, that's how they did it. Because last year when I turned them in, we got the stuff on the Lysander side of it. I don't remember what it was, or 2 years ago I guess it was. Last year we didn't get one, we were late, but we only got Lysander, and we got turned down for Baldwinsville because I put down 18,000 people, and I thought I was low.
Maybe we ought to do it by Van Buren.
You mean,
Well, I think the population of Van Buren would be less, and that's the big majority of the district.
I mean, you can put anything down you want as long as they don't, you know, I don't know if they find out how many, what the population, I don't know how they determine the population, whether they look it or not. And then it says the ISO rating, if your rating is a 9, you get 10 points. A 5 by 5 is 5 points. If you're 8 or less, you only get 1 point. And then newly organized department, you get full 10 points. And then if you're a Native American community in a protection area, you get 10 points.
7885 is the population in 2017.
What was it?
7885.
For Beeville? So we can turn in probably 8,000 for the population and see what happens.
All right. Bills for approval.
I have 2. I have one from Town Mechanical for the plumbing on the washer and dryer. It finally came Thursday, so they must have sent it by, Pony Express. And then Cummins for warranty work on E1.
Why are we getting billed warranty work? I'm lost now.
But we were billed warranty work when they did E7 as well. Something, I don't know what it is, but they bill us at least $100 for
One,
warranty
you
work.
could have a deductible on your warranty.
Oh, that, oh.
Two, you could, warranty does not pay freight. So parts have to be freighted in.
Oh, okay.
This is what it is.
And it's probably diagonally.
Yeah, he speaks more truck than I do.
Yeah, you gotta make sure 3 people sign it.
Yeah, it's attached. See, it's all there.
So ECM calibration was your warranty. You're not gonna warranty loose clamps on the cooling system.
E7. And they billed us 100 for E7 when they did it.
No, signing it, have to go through.
No, it's as long as I'm sitting here.
So really, the only warranty work that was done on that was the computer update.
Is that what it was? Yeah, there's always that
Can't warranty loose clamps.
fine line,
Nothing there.
yeah.
What's this one again?
Warranty 167.
No, she's got the warranty.
Oh, I'm sorry,
That's the plumber.
5475.
Does that match the quote?
Yes,
Okay. Just asking.
absolutely.
Now that comes out of that other account, correct?
Oh,
Yeah, that does not come out of the operating budget, that comes out of that account.
okay. I gotta go to the bank, get a certified check tomorrow.
All right, so I'm gonna make a motion to pay the two bills for a total of $5,810.40.
I'll second.
I'll make the motion. You can second.
All right, I'll show you two. All in favor, oh, do roll call for the minute.
Becky,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Casey,
Yeah.
Jack,
Yes.
Sure doesn't.
I don't think so. I think I read that somewhere in this book that I had to get a
Was it
couple
the
weeks
training?
ago.
Station two sprinklers.
I did get another quote from another company. I know they broke it down into 4 options, so I would like to talk to Jeff Belzak about which option to go. And I'll bring it up to the July meeting. There were some cheaper options that would solve our problem.
Okay.
What did the quotes range from, can you tell us? You don't have
That was in a truck, I didn't bring it in.
it.
But it was quite, it was significant in some cases, depending on which option. I can give you everybody a copy of it.
I see it soon enough, I just wondered if you knew what it was,
Yeah,
just to get an idea.
Who else did you have look at it?
Martello, Franklin.
And then bundle lighting or cooking stoves.
The hoods are timed for cleaning, they past due. Also, was a request to do the stoves too, we've never done them. Same company could do them. Do both stations for $900, but here's the kicker, he wants to do it Thursday. I don't know.
Was it a rainy day for him or something?
I don't know,
What's he want?
Wants to do it
he
Thursday.
wants to do it Thursday.
Good, we just got written up for it today on the inspection station.
Oh, really?
Who oversaw?
All right, so what-
Who oversaw?
That's a good price though. Because I know when they clean just the wood.
So the hoods are 900? or
No,
the whole
everything,
thing?
everything, both stations.
Clean,
Really?
clean.
300
Yes,
and
it
150
is.
for the stove.
Yeah, it's expensive, because they have
Yeah,
to,
but this is not bad.
they have to put plastic up and catch all the chemicals in the bucket. At least when they last, the last two I seen
So it's
done, it was
150, so 900 total, so it's 450 per station, so maybe that's what he's come up with, a $900.
Good price.
I'll make a motion to move forward with stoves and the hoods getting serviced for the year, for, it'll cost us $900.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
Want them here at midnight, Thursday morning.
Absolutely.
Any other topic for discussion that's not on the agenda? that anybody has?
Until we keep moving forward with what we got, we don't have a lot of answers.
All right, then I will adjourn the meeting at 7:45.